So I talked about I talked about perceptions of other riders, and how certain people ride differently around certain people, and perception's a big thing. Well, I felt like that with Chase. I said, like, Eli's Eli. We all kind of know beast mode. He does his thing. But with Chase, I felt like there was only one guy that he had a little bit of, he didn't really want to race him. And now it's Jason Anderson. Well, Jason been shooting himself out. Hombre. We haven't been mentioning his name that much lately, because he's been making his own mistakes. And even though he's riding pretty good, the results don't show because he's been falling and doing his own stuff. So he hasn't been up front racing Chase and some of these other guys. Well, this weekend, Sakamoto, he was up front, and Chase had to go around him. And you can tell, like, as an ex-racer, like, I can watch the way, people riding styles, how certain guys ride when other guys are close to them, how they ride, line selections. They don't want to get close to him. Like, when you watch Chase, you look how he races his own teammate, Ken, and a lot of guys, like, he'll run it in on him like he did Cooper, not dirty, but he'll run it in, be aggressive. Ken, rev up the bike, kind of go wild trying to pass him, go around the outside. With El Hombre, he don't do that. He don't do that. Not saying a lot of people don't do that too. They do the same thing, but it was visually, he was the one other guy that I seen make Chase ride differently. And there was a point where he was trying to get around him. He literally almost runs off the track. Like, there was no aggressiveness. Like, he was being careful around him. And when he had an opportunity to pass Jason, where he passed Aaron at the end of the race, like, he was going fast. As soon as he passed Aaron, he slowed down to make sure he got in that corner. Well, when he passed Jason, it was like, like, he just kept up the speed because he didn't know what El Hombre was going to do. He was a little worried about him, So he was riding differently. You'll see it. Yeah, there was a moment where Eli got into it with Craig, and they were saying, like, well, maybe they'll have words after that. That was full on racing. And it was the way that track set up, because if you go inside in that, like, roller section, there was a kind of like a sweeper, had rollers on the inside. But anyways, if you go inside, and which what Kristen did, and if you go outside what Eli did, the way that actually jumped, you actually have to come back on the outside. Like, so if you're inside, you almost had like a straight line. And the way that jump was to the next corner, you started going like this way. If Kristen went straight, he would be going down, and it closed off the inside like he was cutting across the track, just the way that was. If you're outside, that you actually have to kind of cut back and go back right to actually hit that jump, which puts you going this way out the single. So Christian's on the inside, Eli's on the outside, and just the way the whole track was, the way that flow, it just made you cross jump. So that was just a racing incident. I don't even think Eli, he probably didn't even remember it at the end of the race, and it definitely wasn't dirty, but that was just the way the track was set up. And that's just kind of the way Southwick was. Christian was just doing the shorter, straighter line, and Eli was doing maybe the faster line, carrying momentum, but that just happened. It was going to happen. If you get outside, you jump across the track, inside, you jump across the track, and they clouded.